Welcome to our carol sing for the year 2020. Christmas is a candle in the dark. But somehow, into this darkness, a little light has been kindled, and nothing has been able to put it out. Indeed, its flickering light makes it possible for us to see the outline of new life amidst the darkness of our own lives. We see the outline of new tomorrows amid the darkness of the world's evil. And that flickering light, if we concentrate on it, provides us with all that we need for walking into that night, the night that is the Christmas mystery. Welcome to our carol sing. I'm going to read to you from a book by Tommy D. Paola called The Legend of the Poinsettia. In his dedication in the front of this book, he says, "The beauty of the gift is in the giving. The beauty of the gift is in the giving. This year, without having the Salvation Army band here, and our collection that we traditionally give to the Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign, I ask you to give, and to give generously, not only to the Salvation Army, but to all the worthy causes that we have at this time of the year. Because the beauty of the gift is in the giving. And now the legend of the poinsettia. Lucida lived in a small village high up in the mountains of Mexico with her mama, her papa, and her younger brothers and sister, Paco and Lupe. Papa worked in the fields with their burro, Pepito. Every evening, Lucida fed Pepito, gave him fresh water, and filled his stall with clean straw. At home, Lucida helped Mama clean their casita, their little house, and pat out the tortillas for their meals. She took care of Paco and Lupe, and each evening they went to the shrine of the Virgin of Guadalupe near the front gate to see if fresh candles were needed. But every day was not work. On Sundays, the families went to Sant Gabriel in the square where Padre Alvarez said the Mass. And all through the year there were fiestas and holy days, which always began with a procession that wound through the village and ended at Sant Gabriel. One day, close to Christmas, La Navidad, Padre Alvarez came to their casita. Senora Martinez, buenos dias, Padre Alvarez said. I am here to ask you about the blanket which covers the baby Jesus in the Christmas procession. We have used the same one for so many years that it is almost worn out. Because your weaving is so fine, I have come to ask you if you would make a new one. Ah, Padre, Lucida's mother said, I would be honored. Lucida will help me. On Saturday, Lucida and Mama went to the market to buy the wool for the blanket. They chose the finest yard they could find. At home, Lucida helped Mama dye the wool the colors of the rainbow. Those colors will shine throughout the church, Papa said, as he watched Lucida and Mama string the yarn onto the loom. As Christmas drew closer, everyone in the village was busy. All the mamas were making gifts to place at the manger of the baby Jesus in the church, and the papas worked together, putting a manger together in San Gabriel. Lucida and the other children went to the church for singing practice for the Christmas Eve procession, when everyone would walk to San Gabriel singing and carrying candles. And once inside, Padre Alvarez would lay the figure of the baby Jesus in the manger, and the villagers would go up and place their gifts around it. Our gift will be the blanket for the baby Jesus, Lucida told her friends. I am helping my mama make it. One afternoon, a few days before Christmas Eve, Lucida and the children were singing in the church when Senora Gomez came in. Lucida, you must come home. Your mama is sick and your papa has taken her down to the town doctor. You must take care of your brother and sister until your papa returns. Lucida was frightened. Mama had never been sick before. When she got home, Paco and Lupe were crying. They were frightened too. Lucida tried to comfort them. She made them some food and waited for Papa. Papa came in looking tired and worried. He drew Lucida close and said, Lucida, your mama is ill, but your Aunt Carmen will take care of Mama until she is well, but I must go back and stay with her until I can bring her home. But it won't be until after Christmas. Senora Gomez will take care of you and Paco and Lupe while I am gone. She will come for you tomorrow. The next afternoon, Lucida overheard two women talking. Lucida's mama is ill. She won't be able to finish the blanket for the procession. Isn't it a shame? See, the other woman said, we are all so disappointed. Padre Alvarez will have to use that old, worn-out one. When Lucida went home to feed Pepito and get clothes for Paco and Lupe, she looked at the unfinished blanket on the loom. Perhaps I can finish it, she thought. But when she sat down and tried to weave, the yarn got tangled. The more she tried to untangle it, the worse it got. It was no use. She could never finish it by herself. So she took the unfinished blanket to Senora Gomez. Oh, Lucida, it is so tangled. There isn't time for me to fix it. And tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Lucida started to cry. It was her fault that the blanket was ruined. Her family wouldn't have a gift to place at the manger of the baby Jesus. Don't worry, Lucida. We will all go in the procession. Lucida didn't say anything because in her heart she felt that she had ruined Christmas. Come, Paco. Come, Lupe. It's time to get into the procession. Senora Gomez called. Where is Lucida? She was nowhere to be found. She was hiding. From the shadows, Lucida watched everyone gather for the procession. The candles were lit, the singing began, and all the villagers walked to San Gabriel carrying gifts to place at the manger. Lucida walked along in the darkness and watched the procession go into the church, followed by Padre Alvarez carrying the baby Jesus. Little girl, are you Lucida? An old woman stood in the shadows nearby asked. See, Lucida answered, wondering who she was. I have a message for you. Your mama is going to be fine, and your papa will bring her home soon, so don't worry. Go into the church and celebrate Christmas with the others. Paco and Lupe are waiting for you. I can't, Lucida told her. I don't have a gift for the baby Jesus. Mama and I were weaving a beautiful blanket, but I couldn't finish it. I tried, but I only tangled it all up. Oh, Lucida, any gift is beautiful because it is given, the old woman said. Whatever you give, the baby Jesus will love, because it comes from you. But what can I give now, Lucida said, looking around. There was a patch of green growing in a tangle nearby. Lucida rushed over and picked an armful. Do you think that these will be all right? Lucida turned to ask the old woman, but she was gone. Lucida walked into the church. It was blazing with candlelight, and the children were singing as she walked quietly down the aisle with a bundle of greens in her arms. What is Lucida carrying? A woman whispered. Why is she bringing all of those greens into the church? Another one murmured. Lucida reached the manger, and she placed the greens around the stable and then lowered her head in prayer. A hush fell over the church. Voices began to whisper, Look at all those greens. Lucida opened her eyes and looked up. Every one of the greens was tipped with a flaming red star. The manger glowed and shimmered as if lit by 100 candles. When everyone went outside after the Mass, all the clumps of greens throughout the village were shining with red stars. Lucida's simple gift had indeed become beautiful. And every Christmas Eve to this day, the red stars shine on top of green branches throughout all of Mexico. The people call the plants La Flor de Noche Buena, the flower of the Holy Night, the poinsettia. When Tommy DiPaola first heard of the legend of the poinsettia, about a little girl who offers greens to the Christ child as her gift for Christmas, he was touched by it as only Christmas can touch someone. and he knew that one day he wanted to create the story in pictures for children. This lovely Mexican wildflower is known by many names in Mexico. Flor de Fuego, the fire flower, Flor de Navidad, the Christmas flower, and Flor de Nochebuena, the flower of the Holy Night, the name used in this story. The poinsettia found its way to the United States through Dr. Joel Roberts Poinsett, who served as the ambassador to Mexico from 1825 to 1830. He was fascinated with its beauty and called the plant painted leaves because the part often thought of as the flower actually consists of leaves surrounding a smaller flower portion. He took cuttings home with him to South Carolina when he returned from Mexico. The Christmas plant, which we call poinsettia after Dr. Poinsett, found its way into our own Christmas traditions, and nothing seems to say Merry Christmas better than a beautiful poinsettia. Merry Christmas, and God bless us, everyone.